Ani bojo nin wapshka beneshi kwe nimki beneshi dodam minwa gigo dodam. My name is Gail Asinaway. I'm the Cultural Services Developer at Kenegabeshkame Child and Family Services. And today I'd like to speak upon the Agency Preamble. The Agency Preamble was developed by the Elders Advisory Council. And when the Elders Council first began in October 2016, one of the first items that the EAC members had identified to develop was an agency preamble. So the preamble is a statement. It's a statement for the agency. It's a proclamation. We always knew why the agency was created. However, we never actually had a preamble to indicate for Kenegabeshkame what we stand for and who we serve and what our statement is. The preamble for Kenegabeshkame serves as an introduction and a significant declaration to account the agency's historical and intent. And that's including its identification to serve as the agency's cultural foundation. So we required this preamble, which also serves as the agency's cultural foundation. This is why the agency was created. And once we have this cultural foundation, it allowed us the endless possibilities of how we're going to build up upon the agency's cultural core for the agency. And as mentioned, this was the initial first task that the Elders Advisory Council had initiated upon themselves. The Kenegabeshkame Preamble reads as such: whereas sovereignty is a natural and inherent right as gifted by Jemnido to the Anishinaabek. Whereas the Anishinaabek retain their sovereignty and continue to govern themselves as their ancestors have since the beginning of time. Whereas the historical intent and vision of Kenegabeshkame Child and Family Services was to support the establishment of a Child and Family Services agency, to act in accordance with the laws, traditions, and customs of the Anishinaabek, to ensure the protection of the families and their children until such time member First Nations determine and assume their inherent right to provide and deliver child welfare service. So that's their responsibility on behalf of their First Nations members. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Kenegabeshkame Child and Family Services, proclaim that we are an Anishinaabek agency servicing Anishinaabek people to ensure services are delivered by honoring the Anishinaabek way of life. So this agency preamble was declared by the Elders Advisory Council on February 21st, 2017. And the Board of Directors for Kenegabeshkame had approved this agency preamble on August 30th, 2017. The agency preamble was also translated in Anishinaabe. As part of our history, the agency logo, at the time, a contest was held, and it was shared with the member First Nation communities, and more specifically to the children that were attending the schools at that time. And in preparing for Kenegabeshkame becoming incorporated, this contest was held and a number of entries were submitted. The successful logo that was drawn, and mind you, these were children that drew and submitted photos. The successful submission was submitted by Warren Lewis. At the time, he was a child and he was attending the Wasiaban Junior School in Wikwemikong. At the time, Kinagabeshkame celebrated the agency through its naming ceremony. Part of the celebration involved an invitation to the original and Visionaries for Kinagabeshkame. Warren Lewis was invited to this celebratory event. At that time, he expressed that he was proud to be part of this organization. He was proud to be part of Kinagabeshkame in a small way through the logo that he created years ago. And he wanted to say miigwech for the recognition now, and then to keep up the good work of what Kinagabeshkame is doing. And with the Kinagabeshkame logo at the time it reflected his drawing when he was a child. So the logo was an outline in one color. And prior to designation in 2015, we were preparing the agency for a designation celebration. Looked at the agency logo and we wanted to update the logo and include the colors to bring that life, the original vision of how Warren Lewis envisioned the logo for Kinagabeshkame. Before designation, we did take that logo. We also shared it with our Elders Advisory Council, and they looked at the logo and they interpreted meaning to that logo to support Warren Lewis's original vision for the agency logo. Within the agency logo, you notice that there's the 4 directions, and they represent the qualities that families should strive for, such as love, unity, safety, and security. For children and families to remain strong and connected, there must be love and a sense of unity between family members. A good family home should provide a safe and secure environment for all family members and children who live there to foster growth and strong family connections. The child is surrounded and protected by family members. Thereby, the child is the focus and is nurtured by the family. The family is connected by the circle of life. The child is brown, including the families on both sides, to represent the Anishinaabek. The inner circle is filled with green, to represent the Anishinaabe original family, in accordance to our teachings. The outer circle is filled with the sunrise colors, to represent a new day, a new beginning. The 2 bottom circles are green, to represent Mother Earth, and the top 2 circles are blue, to represent Grandfather Sky. And that, in essence, is the description of the agency logo. I would like to speak to the original visionaries of Kinagabeshkame, Child and Family Services. Prior to designation, and as part of our designation celebration, we had, as part of our celebration, we wanted to provide official recognition and honor those original visionaries of Kinagabeshkame. The original vision for Kinagabeshkame was to develop a Native Child Welfare Agency. In March of 1984, Our Children, Our Responsibility proposal was submitted to the United Chiefs and Councils of Manitoulin. A solution: Indian people must assume responsibility for the care and protection of Indian children. They must look after them, care for them, support them, protect them, teach them, and love them. January 1991, Kinagabeshkame Child and Family Services became incorporated. The foundation for Anishinaabek Child and Family Services was created on April 1984, and that was done by the First Nation chiefs. The late Chief John Ronald Ronnie Wakagijigba served Wacomiconk Unceded Indian Reserve. Chief Joseph Hare from Chigging First Nation, which is formerly West Bay. Chief Norman Ogoni, representing Shigwenda First Nation. Chief William Antoine, Shishigwaning First Nation. Chief Clayton Abataswe, Amdek Aning First Nation, formerly Sucker Creek. Chief Leona Nawagabo, Whitefish River First Nation. Those were our First Nations leadership at the time that the agency became envisioned through the Our Children, Our Responsibility proposal in 1984. In 2012, Anishinaabeg completed a naming ceremony for the agency, an official naming ceremony. Our First Nations leadership at that time were present, and Anishinaabeg was also gifted with eagle feathers at that time. And those eagle feathers were blessed and were gifted to the Anishinaabeg staff to contribute towards their spiritual bundle, their sacred bundle that they carry, and to assist them in providing service in their role while servicing Anishinaabeg. At that time, the naming ceremony was completed to honor the original visionaries of Anishinaabeg. And we all participated in that ceremony. In view of the history photo for Anishinaabeg Child and Family Services, you'll note that the date was included into the Manitoulin Expositor on Monday, December 23rd, 1991. And included in the photo is Chief Joseph Hare, and he is accompanied by 3 honorary guests, Jonathan Wabkumagut, Jessica Babumkwe, and Stan Paco Sagun, and Chief Leona Nawagabo. They joined together for an official ribbon cutting ceremony to mark the opening of Anishinaabeg Child and Family Services. The office was located in Wacomiconk at that time, and it continues to be located in Wacomiconk.